Salutations, fellow nerds. I'm Rick Wine. Today is April 8th, 2025, and today we need to talk about one of the most brilliant, baffling, and increasingly embarrassing men in modern history, Elon Musk. Now, on paper, Elon Musk has it all. He's the richest man in the world. He's launched rockets into space. He's built electric cars and planted chips into monkey brains, and somehow still finds time to shitpost on X. But despite the wealth, the genius, status, and global attention, there's the weird gnawing thing that he can't seem to shake. He desperately wants to be accepted by gamers. Like, truly accepted, not tolerated, not admired from afar. He wants to sit at the table with the MMO grinders and FPS sweat lords, the strategy savants, and have them say, you know what, yeah, you belong here. And the thing is, he doesn't. Gamers, especially the hyper online, min-maxing, brutally sarcastic ones, are the last people on Earth to give a billionaire a free pass. You can't buy their respect. You have to earn it. You have to get good. So, to his credit, Elon tried. Over the years, he's tweeted about gaming. He's dropped in on Elden Ring, made public posts about Cyberpunk, and he's flexed that he's one of us. But lately, the cracks have been showing. There are whispers and receipts that Musk has been paying people to carry him in games. Word got out that he wasn't grinding out his gear or mastering mechanics. He was hiring ringers. Nerds clocked it, and the stink of fraud started to cling. But nothing, and I mean nothing, tops what just happened in a game called Path of Exile 2. Elon Musk, the man who commands satellites and self-driving cars, couldn't make it through the tutorial, and chat was merciless. Some actually told him, and I quote, "You will die alone." And for a moment, you could see it. You could see the ego break. The manic mask slipped. He rage quit. Not just the game, but the illusion that he could simply will his way into being one of the boys. So let's unpack this tragicomic descent into digital disgrace and what it says about billionaires, video games, and the impossible need for approval. So if you dig news, history, or humorous American hogwash, make sure to drop a gaming emoji in the comments and let's get cracking. Now, before we get too much into this, I want to let everyone know that I am absolutely a gamer. I've played video games my entire life. I'm fairly certain I just got the arthritis and osteoporosis achievements in the same week. In fact, just before I got on to record this video, I was finishing up some real hardcore action in PGA Tour Road to the Masters. And not to brag, but I've been recently made aware that I have some of the most points in the game. To prove it, I was able to get a plus 22 on a 9-hole round. That's right. 22 points for me. All joking aside, I truly do enjoy video games as a neat way to relieve the stresses of daily life. I know this may actually come of no shock at all given this rugged exterior. Luckily, I am able to communicate to all of my non-gamer friends the real hilarity that is at the center of this whole thing, and that starts with a little game called Elden Ring. Now, if you've not yet heard of this game, you're either not into gaming, and that's perfectly fine, or you're just not a fan of being a glutton for actual punishment. It's not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, and the gimmick behind its gameplay. Some games have this natural progression of your character where difficulty levels are set, and they're pretty linear. You know, you have your easy, hard, medium, whatever. But Elden Ring actually makes its difficulty a carefully crafted part of the experience, and many gamers find it to be a better option when it comes to feeling rewarded for their difficult tasks. There's no getting around anything in this game, and you have to earn everything. There are no tutorials, no quest markers, no minimap. You're dropped into a world, and it's basically up to you at that point. Even if you level up or get strong gear, Elden Ring still punishes sloppy play. You need to learn enemy patterns, time dodges perfectly, and stay calm under pressure. You can't just overpower the game, especially with a glass cannon build. Cough, Elon's Dex build! The combat is high stakes, the recovery is limited, and the whole game is built on taunting you if you're overconfident. It's designed to frustrate and humble, then reward you only if you adapt and grow. And failure and death is actually a core mechanic. Dying is actually required for you to learn and adapt. And the red flags when it comes to Elon Musk didn't begin with Path of Exile 2. It began when he started posting things like, quote, Dex build is the thinking man's build, and portraying this person who was spending hours and hours grinding out certain characters. And you can't just get around your character's development. It actually takes calculated amounts of time and effort to get to where some of the pros are. And that's what actually did not make a lot of sense, because he was also talking about his businesses with Neuralink meetings, SpaceX launches, while claiming to have beaten Malenia, an endgame boss considered to be one of the most difficult in-game and within the game catalog of the developer itself. Not only that, he did it in a game setting called a no-death run, which means if you die, you start the game over from the beginning. I'm actually having difficulty finding the words to describe what that kind of talent in that game would take. Yet this person who is running multiple government contracts in both aerospace and military industries, Elon Musk is LARPing as some kind of esports gaming prodigy. It didn't make any sense, as there aren't enough hours in the actual day to physically take all of that on. Then came the Diablo IV fiasco, wherein Elon Musk came out to say that he had some kind of necromancer character build that was just extraordinary. And at this point, not only was he pretty much claiming to be one of the best players in Elden Ring, one of the most difficult games, but now he's also a master of this as well. Alarm bells started to go off for data miners and other avid gamers. None of this was adding up, so they looked into it. His account on the platform that ran the Diablo game, Battle.net, was showing erratic gameplay 24 hours a day. Something was absolutely going on. Elon Musk was not managing a space company, an electric car company, and a brain implant company while simultaneously playing a video game nonstop 24/7. The rumors began. Was Elon Musk paying people to grind his accounts? In other words, was Elon Musk secretly paying the world's best gamers to play his characters? If so, why? Eventually, leaks from Tesla employees stated that Elon Musk did indeed have what were called gaming assistants. These people not only coached him, but would straight up play for him in his stead. He wanted to get this kind of credibility for one of the world's most hardcore gamers while not doing an inch of playing. To this day, I still don't understand the point of it all. He was outsourcing playing video games. He was outsourcing his entertainment. Why? That's like paying someone to go eat a sandwich for you. It doesn't make any sense. And then came Overwatch 2. Elon briefly bragged about using a character in that game named Sigma, who is this big, tanky, floating scientist guy. His gimmick is controlling gravitational forces and lobbing large rocks at people. And the thing about him is that he's complicated. His shots require pretty spot-on timing, positioning, and awareness of a pretty large part of the field at any given moment if you're successful at him. So now he's giving off this vibe that he's also up there as a solid Overwatch player, yet other players recognize that he was getting outmatched by bronze tier players. He didn't know basic functions, he kept missing shields, dying with his ult, which is like the main power for your character, and just being a complete noob. Word spread that he didn't even grind ranked matches. He'd apparently asked devs for exclusive matches or ghost queue placement. He was maining Sigma the way I am a gourmet chef for ordering sushi through DoorDash. So at this point, these weren't just flukes. They were early signs of a pattern. Someone obsessed with the image of being a gamer, but too insecure to risk actually failing on his own in front of other players, which, I mean, this tracks with his need to appear as a CEO of Tesla and founding member, which he never was. This is some of the manic need to be a person that the public has created out of him, which brings us to today.
Anyone spamming the chat? Let me get lost connection. Connection lost.
Oh my god. From the second he logged onto this game called Path of Exile 2, he finally wanted a moment to prove himself to his detractors and was clowned into rage quitting. Musk got online to stream himself playing a beta of an upcoming PoE sequel, and within moments of logging on, it was apparent that he was struggling with basic controls and mechanics. He wasn't dodging or even using potions in combat, and he seemed confused by the passive skill tree, which is kind of what the game is renowned for. And as he continued through, mind you, the tutorial phase of this, he was getting his ass handed to him by some of the fairly basic enemies. And at this point, chat got involved, and you could see and read what went down from there. And right there, on camera, the world could see his ego crack, if even for a brief moment. And it's now hallowed in internet lore. So let's break this down for a second. The richest man on Earth, who is supposedly building rockets, running car companies, and social media platforms that he's on all day, while simultaneously managing government agencies, overseeing cutting through entire swaths of the federal government, doing some rather potent drugs like a fucking champion, and by all external metrics, the guy won life. But that isn't enough. He also wants the gamers of the world to respect him as well. Not for his wealth or his companies or his achievements, but for his grind in video games. One of the arguably most objectively powerful men is craving validation from the exact people who don't care who you are unless you've proven to have earned it. In gaming culture, skill is important and egos get eaten alive. You saw that in the chat box, how completely wrecked Elon was, and he wants so badly to be able to walk into these spheres and be respected, and he's responded to with clown emojis and death threats. Also, he did this while blaring music from his ex-girlfriend, who has been publicly shaming him since January, so loud the other streamers couldn't hear him speaking. So what's really the takeaway here? It's not just that Elon Musk got clowned in a video game. That's funny, yeah, but it's deeply telling as well. It demonstrates that no matter how much money you have or power or Nazi simps slobbing the proverbial knob in Reddit discussion threads, you will just create respect in spaces built around merit, which, I mean, given his comments on DEI, this is not only a profound lesson for him to learn, but also a really ironic one. End of the day, in gaming, failure isn't shameful. Faking success certainly is. Elon's greatest enemy isn't chat trolls or mob damage, it's the weird manic obsession with being liked by everyone. Even here, even now. In a culture that rewards authenticity and punishes pretense, the guy who builds rockets somehow still cannot launch himself into being one of the boys, and maybe he never will be, because to truly belong in this space, you don't need billions. You just need to pick up the controller, die a lot, and shut up long enough to get good. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Elon Musk's digital downfall, drop a like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing for more economic chaos, political theater, and gaming disasters, all with a healthy dose of salt. Y'all come back now. You hear?